Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. It is about 11 a.m. Pacific time on the 23rd of May if you're listening live. But if you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you to the show. You can follow along in the chat room by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. Or if you'd rather, you can head over to YouTube or Facebook. Look for Domestic Mystic Katie Weaver, and you'll see me streaming there if you'd rather watch than listen. So that's how to do all of it. Hey, Christy and Jacqueline. And you guys starting to file into the chat rooms. And I do have my eyes on all of the chat rooms. So wherever you are commenting, I will see it. Hey, Geraldine, how are you? Tiffany, good to see you guys. Pamela, Renee, good to see everybody. How was your weekend? Everybody doing good? If you're in the live stream, it's abundant. Hey, Sid, thank you. That I got a little too much sun over the weekend. I have horrible raccoon eyes right now. Like that no amount of makeup would even begin to smooth out. So it is what it is. So it's this or show up in sunglasses, which is obviously the way I'm typically living my life. So I don't know what to say about that. The weekend wasn't long enough. Oh gosh, is it ever? I just want one non-obligated day that I can go take a day to drive through Grand Teton National Forest and Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone National Park. It's all I want. Is that really too much to ask? They are seeing so many bears right now, and it's killing me. It seems like every spring this happens to me. I know, I'm a real victim. It seems like every spring they start seeing the bears, and it's just like this is such a busy time for me that it's really hard for me to make it up there. And I'm so annoyed because I really want to go. So maybe next week, right? Right. It's all about priorities anyway. So maybe I just need to prioritize differently. I don't know. But why do I want to go? Because Bear 399 is finally out. You guys have probably heard me talk about her before. She's the bear that they call Felicia. And Felicia was very slow to come out of her den this year. Yeah, we're live. Oh, did I say March? Lillian, did I say March? Oh, good Lord. I probably did. No, it's May. We're live. Oh, I did. It's how I scheduled this show. Oh, good Lord. No, we're live. I'm just, well, me. Okay. Bear 399. Let's talk about her some more. She deserves it. So, every year when she goes into den, there's a little bit of a question about whether or not she's coming back out because she is a very old bear. And but luckily, so far so good. This year, she was very slow to come out. Had people pretty nervous. Like, are we going to even see her this year? But we did. She is out, and she emerged with one koi. So koi means cub of the year. That's so she just had one. Now the last time she emerged with koi, she had four. This poor mama. Four. This year, no. This year she just emerged with her one little baby, and he is so damn cute. I don't know if he's a he or not, but I'm that's what I think. I don't know. But he is so cute. He has a yoke around his neck, meaning a white collar. He's so darling. Anyway, I really want to go see them. So here they are. I put a picture in both chat rooms. This is Mama 399. This is her koi. This is very likely her last one. She actually broke records for being the oldest bear, the oldest known wild grizzly bear to birth. She is 27 years old. It's we're nearing the end of 399, but I'm just so relieved that she came out of her hibernation this year. I don't care that she came out with a koi. I mean, it's amazing that she did, but I'm just glad she did emerge. There was starting to be some worry that maybe she had passed in her den over the winter and we just weren't going to see her again and we wouldn't know. So, anyway, she's out. I'm so happy. There's other bears coming out too, lots of them, but you know, she's just a really freaking special one. So, anyway, so that's all I really want. I just want a day to just go drive and see what's up. Yeah. Okay. All righty. But I did put a couple of pictures in the chat room. I'm going to share with you guys. I have to show you these adorable little tiny hoops. They're little teeny embroidery hoops. And they are for, like, you can make pendants out of them, or some of them are tiny enough they could be earrings or keychains. So I am working on deciding what goes into them. So I wanted to share with you guys. I did this on the psychic hour last week. Just asked for a hive mind opinion of what you think would be cute in these, and I got some super good ideas. So I'm doing it here too. So I put two pictures in the chat room. I'm going to show them to you guys too. This is what they look like. These little tiny embroidery hoops. So basically, you embroider something and then you mount it here, and then it has an extra disc that goes on the back so that there's no, you don't see the, you know, the fugly stuff. Anyhow, and they look finished because they would be finished. Anyway, so I've been working on what goes into these little puppies. There's four different sizes of round ones, and then there's these cute little oval ones. Are those adorable? Yes, I am in love. There's a little bit bigger ones too. And then there's these oval ones that go up and down like that. Yeah. So, first of all, would you wear these? Second of all, or carry them as a keychain, what would you want to see in them? I've had some great suggestions already, but you guys are brilliant and, you're consumers. So it's nice to ask you questions about what you would want to see. So, right now I'm making a laundry list of the things I want Scott to help me to embroider. So, that's what I'm working on. Okay. I will have so many things to show you guys. I've been working on a lot of stuff, fun stuff. I've been working on these tote bags. We've been embroidering them, and actually they've turned out pretty good. I My pictures of them I don't think do them justice. So I don't think I'm going to share those, but they are coming along pretty great. So I'll have lots of things to share with you next week. But oh, I guess I do have pictures. I have, yes, I have viewing worthy pictures. I don't like sharing pictures that didn't turn out great, but then again, such is life, right? Okay, hold on. Yeah, so tote bags, because I want to find as many ways to use that embroidery machine, for crafting as possible, considering, well, A, what we paid for it, but also because it's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to share them all with you. So if I offend anyone, I am sorry. But I don't know. Sorry, not sorry. I don't think you'll be offended. I'll just put them in the chat room. And you guys decide. I was building a file of things that I wanted to embroider on bags, and then Scott has to pull up the file. He has the software on his computer. And so he said, he said, why is there a file in here that says fuck off? I said, oh, well, open it. I think maybe he thought I was telling him off. I wasn't. I'm just innocently embroidering tote bags. But come on, is that not the greatest? I know. I know lots of people that will carry those with glee. But where we live, definitely get a Karen in the wild to let them know that that's not okay. But, and then this one, the magical twin cats. How cool is that? And then this one is a deer. That's the one I don't think photographed very well. This is actually a very cool image in person, but it's got a lot of depth that you can't really see in a picture. But anyway, so that's why. Lillian said maybe I'll label my file in case of to fuck off. Trishy, I'm going to have them at the fair. So the first fair is at Healing Hands on June 4th. It's an all-day event, and we will be there all day. But the coolest thing we're doing, in my opinion, oh, Trish needs four. Yeah, I get it. Like for all your groceries, right? This is your new tote to take to the farmer's market. Or maybe I need to do a line. We've got the fuck off ones now. Maybe we need a you now. A fuck you. A fuck no. A fuck out of here. I don't know. Oh gosh. I love it. I personally love it. And I don't know where you guys live. Are people really offended by the F word? Where I live, people are deeply offended by the F word. If you carried that into a public place, it's likely that somebody would let you know. You could choose whether you cared or not. But see, someone else had suggested that we do at Healing Hands on B Street. Someone else had suggested that I do that on my little hoops. And I thought there's little tiny ones. Look at these itty teeny bitties that could be earrings. And I think one should say fuck and the other should say off. Don't you think? That's what I'm thinking. Lillian said, I say the C word all the time. Thanks, Game of Thrones. Oh, me too. I know. I know. Trish said, fuckity fuck, fuck, fuck. Yeah, right? And especially embroidered because embroidery has like a certain level of like, I don't know, like wholesomeness to it, maybe. And then you start throwing it all in. Yes. Hello, Belbier. Yeah, we'll get to readings later in the show. I'd be happy to read for you. Sure. Absolutely. Well, those are the things I'm working on. I also bought these really cool spinners that they're like the wind spinners, that like kind of fan out into a design and you can sublimate on them. So I bought one that I'm going to put it's almost Memorial Weekend and we always camp at a spot that's right below the cemetery where my folks are buried and my baby brother and my grandma. And so, of course, we go visit their graves and clean them up. And I always put a wind chime out for Mother's Day. And I didn't make it up there on Mother's Day this year. So it's going to be an all in one kind of visit. But I can also, anyway, so I'm going to make one of these spinners. I have a shepherd's hook up there in between their graves that I hang stuff on. And so I'm going to make it so that on one side it has a deer, like a stag kind of scene, and then on the other side for my dad, and then on the other side has a crow for my mom, and it's going to be really freaking cool. And they're supposed to come today, so I can't wait. But I'm going to make some of those for the fair too. They are awesome. So, can I make heavy canva happy camper? I bet I could. You know I could. Okay. Anyway, so that's what I'm up to. Actually, no. The coolest thing we're doing is the uh, hydro marbling, or it's also known as Ebru. So this is Ebru is an ancient Turkish style of painting. Oh, a canvas happy camper, like a canvas bag that says happy camper. Yes, I could. Yes, I could. We have an insane amount of space to embroider. Our machine, because it's a 15 needle, the biggest hoop is like it's huge. Like it's amazing how big you can go with this stuff. But anyway, that's all. but, uh, but no, let me tell you about Ebrew. I talked a little bit about it last week. I've been playing with it for a bit. So this is a technique of painting on top of water. So you put your paint on, and a lot of it's just marbling. So you put all your different colors on, and you use little sticks and tools and things to do swirls and stuff. And if you get really lucky and good, you can maybe eke out a little flower or a heart or a peace sign or something here and there. And then you dip either specially treated water or paper onto it, and it will immediately suck up your paint. And then what you painted on the water looks exactly like that on your paper. And then there's no paint on the water. It is so cool. Or you can do it with silk. And so I've been playing with silk scarves. So I don't have anything to show you guys yet, but I will next week. I've been working slowly so that, I really know what I'm doing. But yesterday I did all of the prep on the silk scarves. I've been practicing on cotton scarves just for practice. And they're mid, but cotton is a lot cheaper than silk. So, but I did all of the fabric prep on the silk scarves yesterday, and so I'm hoping tomorrow ish to do a few silk scarves to show. Our intention is to bring our setup so that customers can either choose their colors and we'll make your scarf in front of you, or maybe, don't quote me on this because this is just my plan. And, Scott also has an opinion. Uh, Big opinions, this guy. But the hope is to let people make their own. I and take it with them. I mean, when they're done, they're done. It's not a long process. It's just a process of really understanding the science behind it, the textiles, the ingredients. Like, there's a lot to know about how to do it, but when you know the things, then you can do it. So, anyhow, it's really cool. So I can't wait to share more about that with you guys. But if you actually come to the fair, you could make your own scarf, or you could just tell me what colors you want, and I would make your scarf for you in front of you. So there's that, and that I think is pretty fun. So, so there you go. That's what's up. That's what we're working on. Okay. Well, let's take a peek in Luminous. And I think it was Sid that said she loved the cover of Luminous this week. Me too. In fact, Sid, I think I'm going to take that exact cover and turn it into a makeup bag or a tote bag. I still have a lot of tote bags to make. Not all of them are embroidered, some of them are sublimated. But I like that enough that I thought I might actually turn it into something else. Okay, I'm putting a link to Luminous in the chat rooms. Also, you may have already received it if you have been, if you're on my email list, you've already received it. But I'm going to share my screen and we'll talk about a few things. Okay. Alrighty. So it's actually a moth, not a butterfly, but who cares? Something terrible happened here, by the way. I can't even believe I'm going to share this story publicly, but I think I am because it's actually pretty wild. So I'm known for working on my coffee throughout the day, warming it up a couple of times. I mean, you guys see the size of coffee mug I usually use. And sometimes I'll leave cold coffee on the counter and dump it out the next morning. Not a great habit, but I tend to do that. Not last night, but the night before. I was already in bed. Me and the dogs were in bed, just all settling in. And I heard Mars scream in the kitchen. And I was like, oh, I'd already had my medicine. So I really didn't want to have to get up 'cause that just harshes your mellow. So I was like, "Oh, I guess if she needs me, she'll come get me." She didn't, but then I heard Scott in the house, and then I heard Scott and Mars talking, and then Mars came in to let me know why my name was Mud. So my coffee was sitting, like a partially drank cup of coffee was sitting next to the ice machine. And she was putting ice and water in her water bottle. And she noticed that there was a moth stuck in my coffee. And she could see his antenna. And she was like, oh, crap. So she goes, well, maybe if I go outside and dump him out, maybe he can dry out and be okay. So she picks up the cup, heads to the door, looks back in the cup, and she said, I thought, wow, that moth has really long whiskers. She realized it wasn't a moth, it was a mouse. It was a mouse. Oh my God. Swimming in my coffee. I don't know where it came from, how we got in there. Anyway, so she shrieked, she threw the cup on the table, ran clear to her bedroom, called Scott, who was out working in the garage, and was like, "You gotta get in here." So he comes in, he gets the mug. He said the mouse was just treading water. She said he was guzzling coffee. I don't know. Why was he in my house? Anyway, so he took him outside and dumped him out. And uh, I guess all is well that ends well. But the next morning, I always go out early and feed my crows. So I told Mars that when I went out the front door to feed the crows, there was a mouse sitting on the front step with a tiny coffee mug waiting for his morning Joe. Isn't that awful? What the hell? Yeah. So we're thoroughly grossed out, and you know, I'm glad he lived. That's awful. It's all awful. But anyway, you guys, that's what I said, Sid. I'll bet he didn't sleep. Yeah. Sid said that was probably one wired mouse after that coffee spa session, right? Ugh, awful. Awful. Anyway, to be fair, Mars is like super scared of moths. So I was surprised that she was trying to save a moth's life. It was really quite kind of her. And then it turned out she was saving a mouse's life. And that was kind too. But oh, holy shit. Why is this happening? Get out! To be fair, we've checked every nook and cranny and can't see where he came in, how, why, no ever evidence of anything. But I've officially heard the word about leaving my coffee on the counter. Oh God, awful. Anyway, we had to live it, so now you had to hear it. All right, well, let's keep going. All right. I called this episode or this edition the Say What You Want to Say edition. I've used that title before, and it always reminds me of that song, say what you want to say and let the words fall out, you know? Because I think this is one of those weeks where there's a lot of energy in communication, there's a lot of energy in talking, in telling speaking your truth or telling your story. I mean, there's just a lot of energy in it. And whether you are, using your voice to stand up for yourself or to even engage in a bit of confrontation, or if you are using your voice to help another, there just seems to be a lot of energy in communication this week. So that's why I went to that same old trope again. We've all heard of hot girl summer, but have you heard of witchy girl summer? Because that's where we are. It's time for a witchy girl summer, and there's so much energy and like witchy stuff this year. So I have some suggestions of things you can do to get your inner witch on or outer witch on, whether you are in or out of the broom closet. Doesn't really matter. You can do it however you choose. I don't care. You are welcome to just be you. But here's some thoughts. Plant an herb garden, either in the earth or in containers. Plant what you want. I mean, you can definitely get seeds from all different kinds of herbs, and you can get starts too. You can get starts like at a local nursery to get a good head start. It's a I don't want to say it's getting late to start starts, but it kind of is. Nah, it's not. Not for herbs. You'd be fine. But you can use herbs that could be harvested all season for immediate use or dried for later use. I was in Costco last week and they had these awesome bowls, these big herb bowls that had they had two different kinds. One had basil, parsley, and nice oregano, like overflowing oregano in them. And then the other ones had parsley, chives, I want to say rosemary and basil. I bought one for me and then one for each of my sisters for Mother's Day. You could just do something like that, but planting herbs and using them or drying your mature herbs and saving them for later use, whether for cooking or for spell jars or other witchy purposes, definitely a witchy thing to do. Make a bee waterer. I love this because really, in my experience and opinion, walking the path of a witch, whether again you're in or out of the broom closet, is mostly about taking good care of the earth and its inhabitants. Bee waterers are really important, and especially because they are calling for a hotter than regular summer, which I don't know if you guys remember how hot last summer was, but that seems like bad news. Bees need extra water and they need ways to get it. So you can't just put out dishes of water for bees or they can drown in it. The dollar store, like Dollar Tree, typically has big packages of the flat marbles, the glass flat marbles that are like iridescent. Those work good. So do just flat rocks that you can just find, on the riverbank or maybe in your yard or wherever. But take a shallow dish like a pie plate. And if you don't have one you want to give up, just go to a secondhand shop. I promise you'll find some. Take some pie plates, put your stones in it, and then fill the water up so that there's still lots of bare room at the tops of your marbles or your rocks. So there's a spot for bees to rest and to drink. And you'll have other uh, insects and whatnot come and visit it as well. But this is really it's to help hydrate the bees and keep them going. Also, bee waterers are cute. It does not have to be changed in the dish scrubbed every day. No, you can just keep filling it back up. JR, thank you for saying that. Good reminder. So, some of you guys know that Christy and I still do the psychic hour. We don't do it on 1 2, we just do it on our channels. And yes, so Thursday nights, but we've been doing it through True Crime Squad and we decided to make a move and just put it on our own YouTube channels. So, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain, you should be able to, most weeks, unless something takes us away from it, you will still be able to find the psychic hour. So, right here on my YouTube. So, it's Domestic Mystic on YouTube. If you haven't followed it, that this would probably be a good time to do that if you're interested. And then you can come over, and do the psychic hour with Christy and I on Thursday nights. And I would love to have you there. So I think I will just share a link to my page in the chat room too, so you guys can find it. But yeah, if you're interested, that's where it's at. And that's Thursday nights at 7. And there's no membership for that. That's just that's free. Okay, but thanks for asking that, JR. I was going to mention it today and I forgot. Okay, let's keep moving. Take nature walks and clean up trash along the way. That's a big one. Taking good care of the earth, being a good steward of the earth. Learn how to mushroom hunt and what mushies are safe in your area. Books, internet guides, and local mushroomers. Usually, you can contact the extension office. Every county in this country, in the US, has an extension office. The extension office is usually ran by a home economist. And the extension office can usually tell you exactly what mushrooms in your area are safe, or they can connect you to a master mushroomer. So obviously, don't be gobbling up mushrooms that you don't know are safe or not. But we're right in the spot where we can go ahead and do morels. We get morels like crazy, and then chanterelles a little later in the season. So mushrooming here is pretty easy. I don't know about you guys, but anyway, and we cook our mushies, of course, but we also dry them, and I have tons of jars of dried mushrooms that later in the season I'll throw into spaghetti sauce or soup or stew or stuff like that and rehydrate them, and we'll eat them that way. But that's one thought. Track the cycles of the moon and spend time under the beams of the moon, soaking up the lunar cycles. Summer to me is, well, definitely the best time to enjoy the moon, considering where I live in the winter. A lot of times it's a hard pass when it's well below zero outside. so, and for me, spending time outside at night during the summer is absolute magic. And when my body is most interested in going out there. Plant plenty of bee safe flowers. Bee safe flowers means that they haven't been treated with pesticides that are dangerous for bees. If you don't know, and you may not, buy your stuff at a local nursery and ask them, what pesticides have they used? Do they use pesticides? Are they bee safe? They should be able to tell you. Also, Home Depot and Lowe's, a lot of their flowers and plants are now marked that they're bee safe. Just good to note. Visit cool cemeteries and commune with the energies there. Summer is an amazing time. Jane, you're driving through Utah. You did it. Oh, Jane, I am so proud of you. I know how hard it's been for you to get going. Yay. Good girl. Good, good, good. Be safe. And Utah, duck and cover. No offense, Utah. It was a joke, kind of. Visit cool cemeteries, you guys. I know you guys, you're not all as weird as I am, but every new town I go into, hey, Jessica, every new town I go into, I have to check out the cemetery. Poor Scott. He just knows. And if we're driving along and I'm like, oh, was that a sign for the cemetery? He'll be like, no, I didn't see that. Yes, you did. Got to check out the cool cemeteries and all the cool stuff. Okay, gather flowers and herbs to make oils and tinctures. Dry some for later use. You may have in your area uh, some herbs that grow wild. We like to go up into the mountains. Hey, fairy. We like to go up into the mountains and gather the rose petals. The roses will bloom sometime around the end of June. And we'll go gather rose petals and dry them for the whole year for art projects and craft projects, witchy stuff, bath salts, those kinds of things. And lots of other things too. But we have a lot of wild stuff here. And I know a lot of you guys where you live, you do too. But it's a great idea to go wild craft and wild gather. Learn what stones and crystals have occurred where you are, and go on some stone gathering trips. We recently, I wish I had one to show you, but they're all in the Tumblr. But we have been watching a lot of YouTubes of people gathering agates and petrified wood and some other stuff from the Yellowstone River. So the last time we were in Montana, we went on our own little gathering excursion and have 3 rock tumblers full of agate. The Yellowstone agate is so cool. I can't wait to show you guys when they're done tumbling. And the petrified wood. So Montana, back a gazillion years ago, was actually tropical and was an oceanic area, and there is palm wood. So there's all of this petrified palm, and it's really cool. It looks different than regular petrified wood that has like the longer striations in it. These have round striations, and it's really freaking awesome. So, anyway, I have a bunch of that to show you guys. But that's a really fun one. What kind of stones are in your area? And can you go gather a few? You don't have to, bring home a carload, but a handful is pretty cool. Or even just going wandering the beach and looking for sea glass or for agates or for whatever. But that's a fun trip. Gather cool sticks, rocks, feathers, flowers, etc. to make a cool wreath for your front door. That's fun. I can't wait, Jane, when they come out of the tumbler. Scott pulled them out after phase 3 last night and was showing me, and they look amazing. So I think they still have 2 more phases before they're done, but they turned out cool. Some of them are crystal clear. Some of them are more yellowish, and some of them are banded. They're clear, but they're black banded. They are really cool. And others have these little thick black inclusions in them. I don't know. They're very cool. Find a witchy gathering or meetup to attend. I know not all of you have stuff like that happens in your area. I know, but some of you do. Jane said there's a raven hanging out around the rest stop, moving in on human people and feeding. Oh, food. Oh, people are feeding ground squirrels. Ah, oh yeah. Where in Montana? Around the Yellowstone River. So wherever the Yellowstone River flows, all the way up the Yellowstone. I mean, it flows all the way, not clear through the state, but pretty close, I think. Just on the sandy banks and the right now, it's the water's too high. We got in on it before the water started to come up. Now it's probably too high, but a little later in the season. There's a spot near where I was born in Idaho. There is a creek called Bitch Creek. And don't think it's a creek. It's more like a river. It's big and deep, and fast. But it's called Bitch Creek or Creek, depending on how you say it. But there is jade in Bitch Creek that isn't found anywhere else, and it's known as Bitch Creek jade. And it's tough to find. And Scott's like, by God, we are going on a Bitch Creek Jade excursion this year. If it's the last thing we do, hopefully we'll find some. We also were out gathering asparagus off the ditch banks last week, or well, last few days ago. But Mars cooked some of it for dinner last night, and it was amazing. All right. Plant plenty of mint to attract wealth and abundance. Now, listen, don't say I didn't warn you. Mint is invasive. So, when you plant it, don't plant it near other stuff that you like because it will take over time. But if you have barren spots that don't grow anything else, fill it up with mint because it'll grow like nobody's business. And mint attracts wealth and abundance. I've always had this thought that you could throw mint seeds out in the lawn if you could. I don't know that you could make it work if they'd actually grow. But then every time you mow your yard, it would smell all minty and you'd be just out there attracting abundance right and left. But then again, maybe it would like overtake your grass and cause a big problem. I mean, it could. Probably don't take that advice. Set a crystal grid around your property. Have you guys ever done a crystal grid around your property? Whether you live in a home or an apartment or a condo, around your space, you can set a crystal grid and you can put stones out. And we'll do, if you guys are interested in how to grid your property, I can do that. I can't do it today. We don't have time, but I could do a show on that and show you how to do that. Or you can wing it and do it your way. There's nothing wrong with that. Make jars of sun tea to soak up those solar vibes. So you get a glass gallon jar, or pickle jar, something of the like. You fill it up with clean water, put in 5 or 6 tea bags, take it outside, let it sit out in the sun for a whole afternoon until it gets as dark as you want it. Then bring it in, pull out your tea bags, put it in the fridge and chill it, and then you can sweeten it however you choose, and you have sun tea. And sun tea is an amazing way to get some of those solar vibes. Yeah, very summery thing, I think. I like to do that with mint tea or orange. Ooh. And then set goals for the summer and make a spell jar to support them. I've talked before about spell jars, But spell jars are little jars that you take that you fill up with your intentions. So, for example, this jar, you take, you have to have a binder. So, usually salt or rice. I used rice in mine. So, you take your rice, you put some stones. This is an abundance jar. So, it has got some carnelian in it, it's got some citrine in it, and it's got some green aventurine in it. It has some mint in it because mint, again, attracts prosperity. It has some rosemary in it because rosemary helps to amplify the energy of other herbs. It has a dollar in it to keep our focus. And it also has a written affirmation, a handwritten affirmation by me. And it all went in my spell jar. And then I sealed it up with candle wax. And this just sits on my desk. And I look at it occasionally and, remember what it is and what it's for and continue to manifest with it. So you can easily make a little spell jar of any of your goals, things that you want to accomplish this summer, things you're working on. That's another great way to do it. So those are my suggestions. I would love to hear any more that you guys have or things that you look forward to doing in the summer that make you feel more connected to the earth. Okay, bitch scopes with Kelly. She said a quest going on. We are. Scopes this week are fantastic. Be sure that you take a look at them. I absolutely love it. Everything that she said, but the scopes themselves are fantastic too. My tip of the week is paint your front door green. Paint your front door green or put something green on your front door if you're not allowed to paint your door. Well, green promotes well being and compassion, and it attracts abundance and growth. Christy's energy building exercise this week is to clear your bubble. It's a great one when you feel like everybody is a little too close. Ginger's article this week is Scopes with the Angels. They are awesome. Of course, lots more true crime. The reason I said that about Utah, Jane, is that we did an episode on Monday that all three, and this was on accident, all three of our cases came out of Utah. hmm We have decided Utah is definitely not okay. Not that Idaho's okay. We are not okay. Of course, I did some cases out of Florida today that hard yikes. Florida is also not okay. Anita's master this week is Kuan Yin. Brand new video from Jamie Dawn, and that is luminous. So hopefully you found something in there that piques your interest. Utah is having a terrible month, aren't they? Do you open your spell jar after so long? You can, but you don't have to. Like this one, I think I'll probably just keep working it for quite a while. If you accomplish your goal and you decide that you don't need it anymore, yeah, you can just open it up. You can pull out the stuff that you want to save and throw away the rest. That simple. Don't be spreading hard rice, like bare rice, out to the earth. You want to, or your salt. That needs to just go in the garbage, not returned to the earth. For obvious reasons. We don't want to hurt anybody, but that's how it works. Lillian, I am overjoyed that you got a new apartment. I'm thrilled. Good job. Oh, and it's her birthday. The numbers on the apartment. Very cool. Yeah, you guys, spell jars are fun. They're so fun. I have a bunch of I'm trying to get spell jars put together for our next fair. We'll see if I get that far, but I have a whole bunch of jars and all the materials. I just need to sit down and, put them together, but Mars is home now. Matea's coming home for the whole week to go camping with us. And these girls don't know it yet, but they probably do know it. I'm going to put them to work. Oh, Fairy said they just bought a property in the woods. Awesome. Yeah, you're going to have all kinds of fun. Yeah, you guys have the blue river agate. It is very, very rare to find a blue agate in Montana, but not completely unheard of. I've actually seen videos of people finding blue ones. We didn't, but however, we did find some absolutely gorgeous mahogany obsidian. And we get a lot of obsidian here in Idaho, but I've never seen mahogany here. Well, I found it there. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Well, I had a couple of reading requests. So I want to get there before we run out of time. Let me back up. I don't know if this listener is still here. So lovely Balbeer, are you if you're I'm gonna trip over me. If you're still listening, will you drop me one more note? I would happily read for your husband's job. I just need to know to do yeah. I just need to know if you're still here, and if you are, I'll gladly read on that for you. Jessica said, I would love to know how to do a crystal grid in my yard. So here's what I'm thinking. I think that we'll do that this week for the psychic hour. So, and if you miss the psychic hour, you can't come live. Those are YouTubes. So they're there forever. You can always come back and watch them later. But I think I'll just team up with Christy on Thursday night and we'll do a whole show on how to set a crystal grid in your yard. It won't be a whole show. It doesn't take that long, but we'll teach you how, show you what you need and talk about some times that we've put them that went south or didn't. But this is a great time of year to put a crystal grid in your yard. Yeah. Okay. Tiffany, I know you had a question. I would love some insight on accepting an invitation from my boyfriend's supervisor to go with the supervisor and his wife to an outdoor professional baseball game on Sunday, 2 to 3 hours one way out of town. I'm always concerned about COVID and I'm still recovering from shingles. Is it important to my boyfriend? Oh, it is important to my boyfriend, but I have to consider my safety first. And when I asked if he'd be comfortable with me wearing my mask, he said it is outdoors. Tiffany, it actually resonates with me that it would be fine. That you would be safe to go. Yep. And I actually also feel like you would have a really good time, and it would be a good show of solidarity for him for you to be there, where this is something that's important to him. But I do feel like you'd be okay, and I actually don't feel like you'd have to mask up. I feel like it would actually really suck. It would be so uncomfortable, and that you would be okay to just go. Yeah, and hopefully it's a good game. Baseball kind of, you know, it's not as fun to watch as softball is the thing. Jessica said, "Could you please look at the place we just said we would rent? The neighbors. Is that going to work out best for us?" Let's take a look. Jessica, it makes my stomach hurt a little bit, and I think it's making your stomach hurt a little bit, and that's why you're kind of second guessing this. I feel like you really need to be very, very clear on all of the terms of this arrangement, and there's questions for me about maintenance, repairs, things like that. Like, just be really sure that just be really sure. If you have hesitations right now, if you're feeling a little unsure, really feel those out before you do anything. I have hesitations. And I think you do too. I think I'm picking them up off of you. So just make sure you can answer all of your questions about all of the procedurals and that you absolutely know what everyone's intention are before you go into that. Okay. Okay, just jumping into the other chat. Oh, Pamela said, mushrooms, you're making me hungry, right? Mushrooms are funny, right? You love them or you hate them, man. People are funny that way. But Scott loves mushrooming, loves it. That's like the biggest find in the world for him to to find mushrooms in the wild. That's a big flex. We do get We do get some in our yard. We get a puffball. In the early fall, we always get a couple of puffballs, but the pigs won't ever just, let them grow because puffballs can get really big. They're pretty cool, but the pigs won't ever let them grow. They'll kick them loose long before they're really fleshed out into anything interesting. But I know, rude, right? And there's a local park that in the spring, in the summer, early in the morning, if you go there, they always have what are those really big ones? Portobellas, like portobello style mushrooms that grow. But I just, can you trust what the city is putting on the grass? I just don't think you can. So I know I have friends that have gone and picked them and eaten them and, well, apparently survived, but I just don't. I'm not going to go mushroom where I think maybe there's been pesticides and, stuff like that put down. Jessica said what we repair is taken off the rent. No clue for how long. Maybe that's the hesitation. If he comes back, we could be out. Just worried about who else he would move in. That's, yeah. I Maybe we need things a little bit better in writing so that you know exactly how long. A few things like that. Yeah. It, it does feel a little iffy to me and feels a little like a potential for you guys to get screwed over. Yeah. Just make sure everything's in writing really super well and defined really super well, I think is probably the key. Okay, let's do our bibliomancy with Miss Kathleen Peterson. So, of course, this is Kathleen's book, messages that she channeled from the archangels and other light beings. And now, in her passing, of course, we are channeling her messages from others and her too. So, we just always ask, what do we need to know this week? And we turn to a page. It's Dana. I come before you today to speak of the joy of receiving. You are givers and caretakers, but now is the time to receive with joy and gratitude. You are all willing to go out of your way to assist others, and this is good, but you need to receive as well. You do deserve all of the help you need, and all of the abundance of the universe is at your feet, waiting to manifest when you accept that you are deserving. Receive with joy and a song in your heart. Do not doubt that it's right for you to be on the receiving end of gifts and treasures. The universe is abundant and gifts await your request. Know that you are capable of creating everything you desire. I shall be your support. As the energies of spirit weave through and around you, know that I am here to help you accept that you are a deity in your own right. Sit with this thought. Feel how it is to be royal and powerful, even if it is only for a moment. The more you take the time to feel your own powerful royal self, the more you will accept this in your mind. I understand for most of you, this can be a difficult concept to accept as you have been taught that you are less than. Your religious training teaches you that you are born sinners, and I say, this is a belief that has created many of the problems you face in your life today. What has been written and taught to you does include information about your ability to produce miracles, but this information is not the focus of the teachings. The focus of what you have been taught is that you are sinners and untrustworthy. Throughout the history of the earth plane, there have been many who wish to control others and some who have chosen to do so through organizations that teach about spirit. As we have observed in other realms, what you learn and what seems to take hold from these teachings is that you are unworthy. Think about what this does for you. I say you are all miracles and you are all royalty. Now is the time to allow this to penetrate your heart. Your soul knows this. but has been unable to overcome the years of teaching that have enveloped your being. Now is the time to acknowledge the greatness within you. You are needed now to lead by example. Call on me, and I will help you focus, even for short periods, on the glorious spirit within. I will help you receive with joy and tranquility all that you deserve. You can perform miracles now. Accept who you are in truth and happiness. Accept that you are more than worthy. You deserve everything the universe has to offer. Lift your hearts and minds and know that anything you can imagine, you can have or be or do, for you are greater than you know and certainly capable of what Jesus said after performing a miracle. You are all capable of doing this or greater. Now is the time to believe it. Now is the time to change your belief of unworthiness to a belief that you deserve all. Fear not that you will be selfish. Know that when you open to this change in belief, you not only receive yourself, but you are willing to give more to others. They in turn will do the same, for the fear of lack will have disappeared. Call on me, and I will support and help you as you change your focus. You are royalty. Believe, feel, and know that this is true. I send you love, stars, and royal garb so that you may know in your hearts your greatness. And that, of course, is Dana and Kathleen. Well, we did it. We've talked down to the end of the show. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to remind you that I am a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com. You can find me over there every day doing readings and healings and everything in between. So I would love it if you would give me a call over there if I can help you in any way. Otherwise, I'll see you Thursday night at 7 on YouTube for the Psychic Hour, or I'll be back here next week, same place, same time. Have a fun Memorial weekend if you partake, and a safe one, please. And you guys, please take care of yourselves. You deserve it. This has been yet another production of the Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.